What is climate change and how can we help? Climate change describes the changes to Earth's climate over time. In the last 100 years, the average temperature of the Earth has increased because of things us humans have done, like burning coal for energy and cutting down trees to make room for new buildings. Humans are capable of so much, including reducing the harmful effects of climate change.
Carbon that ends up in the atmosphere as carbon dioxide is good for keeping us warm. Carbon dioxide helps trap heat so we can actually survive, which is why we call it a greenhouse gas. If you've ever been in a greenhouse, you'll notice that it's much warmer inside to help plants grow in cold places. Think of it as like a blanket for the plants. Have you ever sat under a heated blanket? I personally love my heated blanket on a cold winter day, but sometimes if I sit under it for too long, I start to get a little too warm. Thankfully, I can just take the blanket off to cool off. Our planet, Earth, does not have the same ability. Humans love to make things that put a lot of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere, such as planes, cars, ships, and factories. So what happens when we put too many of these greenhouse gases into the sky? Well, things will start to get a bit too warm, just like me under my heated blanket.
Pause the video here to do activity 1. Let's take a step back and learn about the carbon cycle. The carbon cycle is the big loop between the ground, all living things, and the atmosphere. Plants use carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water, and sunlight to make food and oxygen for us to breathe. When we breathe in, we breathe in oxygen, and when we breathe out, we release carbon dioxide back into the air. When plants and animals die, they decompose and release carbon into the ground. Remains of plants and animals can turn into fossil fuels underground over a long period of time. Oceans also absorb some carbon from the atmosphere. It moves through the water and sinks to the bottom of the ocean floor. The carbon in fossil fuels would be stored for millions of years if humans didn't dig down to use it for energy. When we dig up all the stored carbon in the ground and burn it for energy, all of that carbon goes back into the atmosphere all at once. Pause the video here to do activity 2. From walruses in the Arctic to rhinos in southern Africa and all the way to CCMMS in North Carolina, the impacts of climate change can be felt all over the world. Many plants and animal species are being displaced due to changes in rainfall, increasing temperatures, and human destruction of ecosystems. All species on Earth are essential to the interconnectedness of our planet, and each have unique adaptations which help them survive under climate change. Ecological conservation is an important part of preventing species from becoming extinct, but an equally important part is being able to spot the impacts of climate change in our daily lives and making informed decisions from it. Climate change is even impacting our daily lives here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Even our seasonal weather patterns are changing. It's been very hot this fall, and I just wore shorts last month. It seems like every year I wear my winter jacket later and later into the year. Do you remember all the snow we got in January and February this year? All the snowy adventures were very fun, but they also signify the climate in our state changing. Alongside seasonal weather, the danger of emergent weather events has also increased due to human activities accelerating climate change. Do you remember when Hurricane Helene hit North Carolina? It was one of the worst disasters in our state's history. People from all over the state lost their families and homes, and we're still trying to recover. Climate change can be felt everywhere on the planet, in some places more than others. It is our job to make an impact in order to protect our planet for future generations to come. Pause here to do activity 3. So what's the good news? The good news is we can make a difference. Small actions can really add up. So let's explore some things we can do as a class and at home. First, we can turn off lights when we leave the room, unplug chargers, and use natural light whenever we can. Second, we can try to reduce our waste. We can recycle paper and plastic, reuse scrap paper, bring reusable water bottles to school, compost things when we can, things like apple cores and orange peels, avoid unnecessary packaging, and we can try to donate some items instead of just throwing them away. Next, we can incorporate more sustainable habits into our daily lives. Things like carpooling to school, riding with a friend instead of your mom driving and my mom driving and having a whole bunch of cars on the road. We can have just one. Small daily actions really help lower our carbon footprint and can promote a more sustainable lifestyle. Because when we work together, our small actions really add up. Pause here to do our last activity, activity 4. Now you guys are ready to fight climate change. Good luck!